Guten Tag, this is Chef Kevin. Tonight I'm making Rouladon. Rouladon is German comfort food. I grew up on this. My mother made it a couple of times a month. It's really good. A lot of people probably never even heard of Rouladon. So let me explain what it is. It is beef, very thin sliced beef, and you roll that up with some onion, some pickles, believe it or not, and then you make a nice sauce using beef stock. Oh, and don't forget the mustard. A little butter and a little flour to thicken up the sauce. This is going to be a good dish. Watch how I do it. Okay, this is my beef. This is how I purchased it, and in all places a Japanese supermarket. It's ribeye. It's cut very thin, like 1/8 of an inch or so, and it's going to be ideal for Rouladon. If you can't find it pre-cut like this, you can have a butcher cut some thin pieces off of a roast, and that'll work just as well. Okay, I'm going to season it up. Salt and pepper, both sides. First thing you're going to do is lay down some German mustard, but if you can't find German, you can use French. Okay, the next thing that goes down is the pickle. These are pickles that I bought just for this reason, because they're already pre-sliced nice and thin. So that goes on. Okay. Next thing that goes on, a little piece of onion. These are julienne sliced, so they're thin. Put that right on top of the pickle. Add another pickle. Add another onion. Roll it over just like that. Now what I'm going to do is tie this little baby up. Eins, zwei, drei. I'm going to put a couple more strings on it at the ends just so they don't fall apart. So this is what it looks like basically after it's all tied up. And the next step is to saute them, get some color going, start the cooking process. Now, you don't have to tie it up. You can use toothpicks, but I don't like using toothpicks because when I saute it, it doesn't sit flat on the bottom of the saute pan. So even though this is a little bit more work, I believe that's the best way to do it. Here's my second one. Little tip here. When you roll it over for the last time, make sure there's nothing sitting on the end, because then it's not gonna roll well. Okay, I got 8 more to roll up and then I'm going to start cooking them off. Okay, my fellow foodies, I have a large saute pan here, a little oil in there. I'm going to start browning these off. I want to give them some color and I want to get the cooking process started. They're actually going to be finished in the oven. Something looks good. Woo. Now, if you use toothpicks, it wouldn't have browned as well because the toothpicks keep the Rouladon from making contact with the saute pan. That's why I use the string. I'm going to turn them so they get cooked on all sides. Das ist wunderbar. Okay folks, I got some nice color going on here. Nice and browned up. Nice and seared. I'm going to pull it off the stove and then start working on my sauce. Okay, Rouladon is all about the sauce. So I have some homemade beef stock here. And I will link that at the end of the video. Going to thicken it up a bit. Have an ounce of butter. And the same amount of flour. And this will make the sauce, or the stock I should say, nice and thick. Gonna let this cook down for a few minutes. And as I said earlier, the Rouladon is actually finished off in the oven. Okay, I transferred the Rouladon into a glass dish, oven-proof dish. I'm going to pour the sauce over it. I'm not going to cover it completely. That's good right there. And now I'm going to pop it into the oven for an hour and a half. Okay, right out of the oven after an hour and a half. Now I'm ready to plate. Here it is, folks. Chef Kevin's beef Rouladon. Served with Spatzle and sauteed red cabbage. And it's all about the sauce. Das ist wunderbar. Thanks for watching my videos. Check me out later. I really think this came out quite good. The pickles, which you don't think would ever work in this dish, works fabulously. The sauce is perfect. The red cabbage, quite traditional German. And of course the homemade Spatzles. I will link that up. If you're interested in making homemade Spatzle, it's quite easy actually, and much better than the store-bought stuff. This is very good. The ultimate test would be for me to make it for my German mother, who is 85 years old, and I'm going to try to cook it for her when I see her the next time. Thanks for watching again.